Doprava. Hey, what's up everybody? So in this video I'm gonna show you how to train real steel firearms shooting with my gas blowback rifle, with airsoft rifles in general. I have my WEKAC and my Glock in airsoft, and I have the Scorpion Evo in 9mm and my Glock. First things first, when you look at the rifles that I have, you can see they are set up pretty much similarly. I have the same, or pretty much the same optic. I have the same size. Obviously I have different magazines, but that's not a big deal. It's the same package, so that I don't have to get used to a different sight picture or anything like that. With my Glock, I'm running Glock 17 with an O-light. If you look at my Real-steel Glock, it's pretty much the same, right? Again, I don't have to get used to different sights, different sizes, different grip angles, anything like that. And the nice thing is that I can use my Real-steel Glock with the same holster, because it just fits inside, right? I'm using the same sling and actually the same pouches. You can see this is AR-15 pouch, but it will accept the Scorpion Evo Max just fine. This is a Warrior pouch, no problem there. It works just fine. So, you don't need to change much when you are buying a new gun or something. You just need to think about it a little bit and then you are good to go. So now you might be asking, is it hard? What do I do? How do I start? It's not hard. You pretty much do the same thing with both guns. Obviously, if you want to mix in real steel shooting, you have to follow the 4 firearm safety rules. I'm gonna list them here. There is no way around that, even if you are using airsoft guns. Next, what I want to talk about is just take it slow. Do basic drills, especially if you are starting out. There is no need to rush it. Remember, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. So when I'm trying something new, I do everything slowly because I want to learn the proper technique, how to do stuff. It's way better than trying to relearn something that you've been doing wrong for the past year or so. You don't need to go fancy. Really, for the first drill, what I'm gonna do, at the end of the video, I'm gonna show you a series of drills that you can start with. I'm gonna start with simple aiming, bang, bang, down. Just like that. That's the first thing. And then you can start introducing reloads, you can start introducing movement into the action, and with every step it gets progressively more difficult because your brain needs to work on multiple things. So really, start with basics. That's the key. Now, what's the difference? What can you do with gas blowback rifle and what can you do with a real steel? You can do pretty much the same with a few exceptions. With a gas blowback rifle, you cannot really train malfunctions, meaning that a piece of brass is getting stuck into the action, stuff like that, ripping out magazines. You can sort of mimic that, but it's not gonna be the same because obviously there is no brass coming out of the gun. So malfunctions, it's not really possible with the gas blowback rifle. The second biggest difference is that when you are doing speed reload, you don't really want to throw this to the ground, because you might break it, you might damage it, it gets dirty, the gun stops functioning. So what I always do when I'm reloading a GBBR is, I don't have a second GBBR magazine here, I have it over there. But anyways, what I always do, even if the gun is completely dry, I do tactical reload. So I do basically this, and I'm gonna put this magazine away. Even though it's empty, I put it into my pouch. I don't like dump pouches somewhere on the back because it just gets heavier if you put 2-3 mags in there. So that's what I do with GBBR. Obviously, with real steel gun, I don't do this. If my gun runs empty, I just rip out the mag, I throw it on the ground, grab another one, and run the action. These magazines won't break as easily. They are very light if there are no bullets inside, so I'm not really worried about them, about other people stepping at the magazines. I don't care, that's the proper way to do it with a real steel gun. With the GBBR, slightly different, but anyways, I mean, you still have tactical reloads with real steel too. So if you are training with a GBBR, you are basically training real steel anyways. You just do it in a different situation. Or if you really want to, you can throw the magazine to the ground. I mean, it's your money, right? So I don't really care. So that's the two biggest differences to me. Other than that, I don't really see a big difference. You have the safety, you should be operating the safety with real steel gun and with a GBBR, obviously, because safety is number one. You have, with the GBBR, you have the recoil. It's not much different, really. If we are talking about a 9mm, the recoil is quite soft. With the GBBR, it's comparable. In training with the GBBR, it actually makes sense, even if you are living in a free country like Czech Republic and you can still own these things, because this is just shooting for free, basically. Compared to 9mm, one round costs like four Czech crowns. With this, I mean, you are paying for BBs, it's like 0.0 something crowns, which is like 0.0000 nothing euros. So it really makes sense to train with the GBBR, and then when you go to a range, I mean, you are obviously a little bit better than before. And also, huge difference is you can shoot this in your backyard, really. Just set up a few targets, put your gear on, and just train. That's the biggest advantage. You don't need to be on a range like this in order to shoot this gun. I mean, obviously, at least tell your neighbors or just do it somewhere where nobody can see you or hear you, because, I mean, this still makes a little bit of noise. It's the perfect way to get started and even get to a level. I mean, I saw a video on T-Rex Arms, maybe you saw the story, and there was a guy from Japan, and they are not allowed to own real steel guns, but he was so efficient with gas blowback rifles and with airsoft guns that he just crushed it with real steel for the first time. I'm gonna link it in the description. It's really amazing video. I really highly recommend to watch it. It's a good way to see how good you can get with real steel, even though you only have this. And then obviously the benefit is if you go to a game, you are just way better than anyone else. If you put a little bit of effort into it, it makes a big difference. That's why pro competitive shooters, real steel shooters, just dry fire the guns, really, which means you have no bullets inside and you just aim and fire the shot with no movement whatsoever. So that's, if it's good enough for competitive shooters, it's good enough for airsofters as well. If you really want to get into detail and if you want to have a good base or sources, I would highly recommend John Lovell, Haley Strategic, that's Travis Haley, Chris Costa, and maybe a few different instructors that you can watch some YouTube videos and really see how they are doing it. One more thing, internet is a great source, but be critical with everything you hear, because there is a lot of bullshit on the internet. So think about the techniques, think about why is it exactly this way, and if you think there might be something wrong with it, double check if it's true. If it's not true, don't do it, because like I said, it's way harder to unlearn something that you've been doing for the past year or so. Go to the links in the description. I'm gonna put my favorite instructors right there. Yep. Let's do the drills. So, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna start with the basics, and I'm gonna use the timer for giving me the signal to start shooting. First of all, I'm gonna disengage the safety, aim at the target, and fire 2 shots. Very basic, we will step it up and we will go from there. Safety on, that's it. Okay, I'm gonna do it slowly now. When I'm bringing the gun up, disengaging safety, 1, 2, checking the target, letting go of the trigger, safety on, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna switch to the gas blowback rifle and show you that it's the same. Safety on, that's it. Now what I'm gonna do, pretty much the same, but I'm gonna transition between two targets. Safety on, that's it. And you can repeat that, you can transition between multiple targets. There is no limit to this. Next, I'm gonna learn transitions to my pistol. Even though the gun is not empty yet, that's the next step, I'm gonna drop it down and take my pistol and fire one shot at the middle target. So, let's do this. Safety on. Missed the first shot. Doesn't matter, corrected that with the second shot. Okay, transitions, very important. If you run out of BBs or gas and you need to shoot quickly, it's way faster to transition to the pistol. So that's why I'm training it this way. Okay, that's it. So we are training the basic manipulation with the gun. So now I'm gonna introduce a little bit more complexity. I have limited ammunition, so I'm gonna fire as long as I have bullets. And then when the gun is no longer firing, I'm gonna check the window, see what happened, and if I need to transition, assuming the distance is right for the pistol, I'm gonna transition to the pistol and fire a few shots. If the distance is beyond the reach of the pistol, then you would obviously see cover and reload the long gun. Safety on. You can, if you are into self-defense, you can also add scanning, checking the area, looking for exits, stuff you will need, good guys, bad guys. That's forced transition. Now what I would do to finish the drill is reload. Now, with Real-steel, as I talked before, you can rip out the magazine, throw it to the ground, take a new one, and you are ready, safety on. That's it, it should already be on. Every time you don't have the gun under control, safety is on. Do the scan, checking the gun, it's empty, okay. Gonna reload, and I'm ready for next fight. And secure the holster. I'm using it for the first day, so sorry. You should secure it when you are holstering the gun. But I'm also not perfect. Anyways, you get the point, right? Okay, let's do it with the gas blowback rifle. Empty. Okay, the guy is down. Now I can check the rifle because I have time. I see the bolt is open. There are no BBs, so I'm gonna reload the gun. You can throw it on the ground, ping pong button, and you are ready to go again. Now we will step it up a little bit more. This is gonna be changing the guards. So if you are on right corner, you can stay like this, but if the corner is from the other side, obviously it's always better to switch the guard or the hands. So you can also train this with gas blowback rifles, right? Or AEGs for that matter. Let's do this. I'm gonna fire one shot from each position just to show you. Safety on, changing the guard, shot, changing again. Now I can only transition like this. It's hard to reach the safety this way. And so on and so forth. Now let's do it with the gas blowback rifle. As you can see, it's very easy to switch gear. Everything works together. I mean, super easy, and now it cost me a lot of money. Now it's for free, basically. Empty. And so on. Do it slow. It doesn't need to be this complicated. if you are on a more advanced level, you can start introducing movement and different positions. You can build a barricade, you can work the barricade from all the holes and angles. It's pretty much unlimited. If you want to see more of the drills that I'm training with the rifles that I have, let me know in the comments. This is pretty much the basics. I just want to show you that it's really possible and it's not a problem. The gun, especially GBBRs, behave like real guns. There is some limitations, but not too many. It's a very good tool and you can really do a lot with these things which cost nothing compared to real steel. So I'm pretty sure this video is gonna get demonetized, so if you wanna support me, hit the thumbs up, comment, let me know what you think, maybe even subscribe, at least consider it. I will always appreciate that. And yeah, if you wanna see more, let me know in the comments, the topics. I'm reading them and I'm taking inspiration from them. So see you in the next one. And you don't need earplugs, which is nice with the GBBR. I'm gonna bring up the rifle because I need to identify what the problem is, and the bolt is closed because I probably bumped it into something, so now I don't really know, so I'm gonna do pretty much a malfunction. And the gun is ready to go. Okay, now as a bonus, I'm gonna show you how to reload the Evo the proper way. That's only if you have to. Okay, see ya in the next one.